So we got some Manhattan listeners?
Look at us.
Hey, swimming in the big city.
Yeah, gabagool. Give me a pizza pie. Go Knicks. Right? Who loves the Yankees? Jeter.
Hamilton? Broadway, baby. That's how comedies work. Banana peels, buckets on feet.
Yeah. I like how you've adopted my my method of describing movie plots or movie genres. Every horror movie has a bat, things that go bump in the night, and a mask.
Yeah, the mask.
Someone with a mask. It is scoot season. Gotta get the hog up and running. I think I flooded the carb when I tried to start it a month ago to scoot to the auto parts store.
That's right, folks. Gotta get the hog running, but he flooded the carb to start off scoot season.
I feel as though you were judging me.
That's right, folks. That's what Annette has hitched her wagons to.
Oh, yeah.
Scoot season extraordinaire.
Boy, have I tricked her. And now she's stuck with me for at least 18 years.
18 years until she can legally no longer be forced to see you and interact with you.
Forced? I don't know if that makes it sound a lot worse.
Well, in this hypothetical universe, she's leaving you today.
Okay.
And then you would only be bound by the legalities of your unborn spawn.
Yeah, by child support payments.
And, exchanges, so you'd be there every other Friday.
Yeah.
With your sad, lonely beard.
Yeah. Well,
your dumb scooter with a seat on the back for your daughter who is 14 and just hates going to dad's for the weekends because at this point you're obviously, Steve, living in an apartment.
Sure.
With 1.5 bedrooms, so you sleep on the couch to give your daughter
1.5 bedrooms. I don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah, no, it's a Murphy bed. So that's what those are called, right?
So it's a Murphy bed, like the beds that fold out of the wall.
Yep.
But that's also just in the living room, I guess. So is that the half bedroom?
Yeah, it's your living room / Okay. So it's 1.5 bedrooms, half living room, 1 full bath.
1 full bath. Okay, well, at least I got the full bath. I mean, it'll be convenient every other weekend.
She spends the weekend there just miserable.
But hey, bright side, it's easy to make a Murphy bed, right? Just flip it back up into the wall. Bed's made.
Well, it's your crappy apartment, so what has actually happened is it was your coat closet. So now your coats are just heaped in a corner.
Okay.
That's right. So that's what you have to look forward to because, Steve, you decided to ride a scooter.
So basically, so it's not even a real Murphy bed. It's just a twin mattress that every morning I stuff in a closet.
Yeah, there's no spring-loaded, so you just have to get on the end and, heave-ho. Yeah. And then with your left arm, hold the bed in place while with your right arm...
You try to shut the door.
Close the door and then, put the wedge underneath just so it doesn't pop it open.
Yeah, and put a little sign on there that says do not open, just in case somebody happens to be in there.
Well, you've lost your dignity at that point, so your sign says do not open, my bed's in here.
True. Yeah, and that's for, no doubt, my roommate, which I will have.
Not a coat closet. C pile next to bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, this is all because I made the decision to go scooting every now and then.
I just can't get over this idea of you meeting at a CVS parking lot every other Friday and your daughter just slams Annette's car door open, headphones already in, backpack slung over her shoulder, comes over to you.
Just hating me.
Jumps on the back of the scooter, Steve, still not acknowledging you until you have to give her the helmet, open face with goggles as a reminder. Safety first in the Steve apartment life.
Yeah. And the whole time she's just thinking, I'd rather hang out with Mom and Max or some some fancy rich guy name because no doubt Annette's moving on to somebody so
no
much
question.
better.
She's already heading back to the gated community.
Yeah.
And her and the unnamed daughter are just trying to figure out the right time to tell you that she started to call him Dad.
Yeah.
By the way, his name's Max with 2 X's.
Well, it's short for Maximilian because he's an entrepreneur.
Ah, the oilsman himself, Maximilian, huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, you heard it there. Scoot season is upon us, Steve. Have you taken any longer looks this past week? We discussed it last week.
Had no chance over the last week or so. But this weekend, I have nothing, really. Today is the most hectic day that I have all week.
Okay.
I have, because, by the way, it's Monday, May 13th, 2019, the year of our Lord. Whew. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Started off rough for you there.
Almost missed it. We're recording on a Monday. Typically, we record on Sunday morning, but I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point.
Yeah.
You and the family were traveling this weekend.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get a chance to record Sunday. So, we're recording. I got home from work about an hour ago, inhaled some lunch real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We're recording, and then after I'm done here, I got to go back out because we're doing a daycare tour.
Right. So
I think this will be the 4th one that we've toured.
That's what I was going to ask. So this is number 4. Now, the first one you didn't love.
First one? No, I liked the first one. Oh, no, the very first one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The very first one we talked about here you did not like.
That one was, I don't think that they know what they're doing.
The second one was a brand new one, right?
The first one was the brand new one. First one was the brand new one. 2 and 3 were, oh, wow, no, this will be the 5th one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because then we saw 2 and 3, which were both really, really nice. I think that we'd be happy with either one of them, but the first one did not, they don't accept part-time.
Which you're going to run into at a lot of places.
Yeah, exactly. It's not super out of the ordinary. But so the third one does, and we like them. Then the 4th one also does, and we like them. So right now I think the 4th one is in the lead. The 3rd one is in 2nd place. And then today we're not sure. We don't really. Actually, it's a recommendation that you guys.
Oh, you guys are headed. Okay,
yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, good luck. I'll be curious to see what you think about it. Now, let me ask you this though, because we have a pretty loyal listener base. You only need part-time,
small but dedicated, faithful listenership.
I mean, I'm looking at the numbers, Steve, in the Grand Rapids, the West Michigan market.
Oh boy! Over
the past. It was almost 2 years, is more than doubled the listenership of our number 2 market.
Wow.
Which is Nashville. And that is 40% higher than our 3rd market, which is Detroit, etc. What I'm saying, Steve, is the core of our listeners are here in West Michigan.
Right here in our backyard.
What's stopping us? Now granted, we're sniffing 1 calendar year with this not working for the Jeep sale. Why don't we farm the daycare out
to listeners,
to our listening audience?
Absolutely done.
We can drive prices down. It's going to be like the NFL.
$10 a day.
We'll leak reports that this guy wanted too much money, or we've almost struck a deal with this person for this much, and then we'll just constantly undercut everybody until you have somebody like a 26-year-old tattooed motorcyclist who is gone every day, is now responsible for the care of your child. But think of the money you're saving.
I know. It's totally worth it. I mean, really, what are the odds that something bad is going to happen to my daughter?
I mean, at worst, 50-50. And that's still a decent... I mean, coin flip is not
You
bad.
walk out your door, you could die at any moment. Every
honestly,
single day. And I've made it 38 years almost. 38 years and I haven't died once.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had
because it's almost my birthday and you got me a birthday gift.
No, I'm worried about you dying.
Oh, okay.
I had a massive panic attack this morning, Steve, and we will get back to this because I have more questions about this daycare.
We will digress.
My wife decided she's going to go shower. She was leaving. She had to head out for the morning. So I was feeding Reed oatmeal, which is
took the day off.
Zero
nice.
issues.
The rest of us were at work, but I mean, hey, just stay home. Ooh, gotta feed the baby.
I've been curious. So this is a digression from the digression.
Sure.
What exactly do you do when you go to the live shows? Because I've sat in your chair before. Now, granted, this was years ago.
Yeah.
So when I see, like, Steve's at the live show, and you got your computer pulled up and all that, and I sit there and I scratch my head a bit, and what's he doing?
Yeah, watching truck shows. I have one of those like privacy things on my laptop.
Can't see it.
Yeah, so unless you're like 2 inches away from it and straight on, you can't see it.
Yeah,
just hang out, play Scrabble.
Words with friends. You're just waiting for the next person. The friend you're playing with is one of the show members, though.
Right.
So you're like, can we get to commercial break?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I spelled rhinoceros like 3 days ago.
Because obviously the chairs have moved over the years to the point where you used to be the stay-home board operator, and now you're on the road with them. So your responsibilities are a bit different.
All the audio clips that we play, really, that's the main reason.
What I'm saying is, if you're there to see Steve, by all means, best time to do it, mid-segment.
Yeah, come on up and say hi.
Almost, just try to keep the other yahoos far enough away so they don't notice you and start, making noise and complaining about their microphone or, why isn't this audio playing? Whatever.
Yeah.
Just go ahead, sneak around the side, see Steve, say, hey, what's your Words with Friends name? Start a new game. It'll be done by the time the show's over.
Oh, man. Do you still play that, Words with Friends?
No.
Does anyone still play that?
The only time I've heard it is on a podcast that we listen to, Never Not Funny, with Jimmy Pardo. He'll talk to some of the celebrity guests. I think that's a generational divide, even for you and I.
Yeah.
Who you and I think we tend to skew older, and I say that with full awareness that you're, riding a scooter.
Hey, I'm riding the hog with the wind in my hair.
You and I skew older, and you know what? I think about it, and every time...
Would you say that we're old souls?
No.
I would say you're an old soul.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm not the guy...
I don't think I'm as old soully as you are.
Really? See, but I'm not the guy pining for, like, the yesteryear, you know?
No, but you're very get off my lawn.
Oh,
type.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. In that regard, absolutely, Steve, I would agree with you. But every time I hear that game reference, why did I stop playing that? I don't mind it. I enjoy that game.
Yeah, but isn't it weird how, like, all of a sudden, it's like when you were a kid. All of a sudden, it wasn't cool to, like, wear your hockey jersey to school anymore.
Yeah.
No, that's stupid. Why would I do that? I didn't stop liking Words with Friends. I just stopped playing it, I think, because everyone else stopped playing it.
It seems like it,
but
right?
no one knows who started the stopping.
And it's also, I'm glad you bring that up, because that brings me back to a memory.
Are we
I don't even know how we're going to get out of this digression hole.
Hold on.
Do you want to backtrack?
Yeah, because I need to make some notes.
Okay, good.
So we need to drop the breadcrumbs.
Well, your first note is going to be Steve's new sad life.
Okay.
After Annette leaves him. How long are your bullet points? Can we do a couple sentences, paragraphs? Okay. Steve's sad new life after Annette leaves him with their unborn daughter, marries a man named Maximilian, and Steve only has every other weekend privileges.
Well, okay. That's how about Steve's new sad life after Annette leaves him?
Yep, that works.
We don't need to be reminded of all
the details,
all the hurt.
We did begin the digression hole was talking about your daycare, I think.
Another daycare visit.
But boy, after that, you've got me stuck in a pickle, because that was at the first time.
What are we talking about now? Where are we now?
You said Words with Friends.
Old Souls,
Words with Friends. But it wasn't about Words with Friends. It's about...
Okay, you talked about Pardo.
Something else.
Oh, boy.
This
is going to be tough. We might have to stop, replay the tape.
Yeah. There's... You know what? Yeah, boy. This is a deep dive here that we've somehow... We've missed a few of the steps at some point.
People right now yelling.
You were just talking about this! At some point we were talking about... I was talking about farming out your daycare.
Okay, yeah.
To the listeners, obviously.
Yeah. Talking about.
Boy, this has got to be infuriating to anybody listening. Think of what it's like in this room. We just talked about it. It's 15 minutes in.
Yeah, we've only been recording for 15 minutes.
And we're on a tight schedule today, but part of me really wants to hit the pause button and figure out what the hell we were talking about. But we have to stop the record. So I mean, this feels like a loose ends.
I know it. I mean, we have. Like, we're going to do a history of the mystery on this
on this
here.
episode, on the first 15 minutes of this random episode, today only.
We got to do it.
Okay.
All right. And we're back.
Like it just happened.
Boy, was that confusing.
So now we have the proper notes so we can fully backtrack before we get to the last digression that just occurred.
Okay, so we were talking about words with friends.
Do we want to go top down or do we want to work bottom up?
I think we have to work bottom up.
Okay, so bottom up, let me get my story out I was just about to talk about. While you were discussing words with friends, you said it was similar to the same time, Steve, that you kind of realize it's not cool to wear your hockey jersey to school anymore, right?
Yeah.
So obviously that happened to you. You had your Flyers jersey on.
I remember I had all the jerseys. Well, not all of them, but I had an Eric Lindros jersey for my hometown Philadelphia Flyers. I had a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey that I loved because that was when they were an expansion team. I know I had a New Jersey Devils jersey, which that's like sacrilegious. You can't be a Flyers and a Devils fan,
right?
Or like a Flyers and a Rangers, or Rangers and Devils. Like, no,
you can't mix.
No, not at all. It would be like if you, a Lions fan, wore a Bears jersey,
right,
or like a Packers jersey.
Yeah,
you can't. No, the two cannot coexist.
And you can always tell kind of the sports fans and the non-sports fan who just buy the thing. I mean, I bought a Baltimore Orioles cap because I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked the look of it. But
you're talking to Michigan State Steves right here.
The Michigan State Steves. That S looks like my name.
Hey, that has an S in it. I have an S in my name. Neat.
I must buy all of this stuff that has my letter.
I also had a Florida Panthers jersey. I had a ton of jerseys. I loved it. That was what I wanted every year for Christmas.
Really?
Christmas and birthday, I just wanted hockey
jerseys.
Because I played hockey a lot, too. So whenever you're out playing street hockey, you have to represent a team. Like, you gotta be wearing something.
I'm reminded of the time in my life, and I remember it very vividly. And I remember it because it was 9/11. And I remember, obviously, that morning. So I was a freshman in high school.
Never forget.
I was a freshman in high school. And it was fifth hour, so just after lunch, and it was a language arts or English course. I remember my instructor, Mr. Formsma.
And
he
Forsma doesn't sound Dutch at all.
Formsa, whatever. There's an F in there. There's an M-A.
There's a
you figure it out.
Yeah, there's probably a Vander or something. Is his first name Dutch? Is it like Dutch Vander?
No, I believe it was like Chris. And he
name's fine.
We sat down, and obviously it was a momentous day, and he said, I want everybody, remember today. Just remember as much as you can. Remember what you were wearing.
Wait, so you were, like, on 9/11, you were still going to classes and...
Yeah, we found out in second or third hour. I remember a teacher rushed in, told the other teacher, hey, turn on the television, and he did, and I remember that was the first time I ever really heard a teacher swear out loud, and... But yeah, they didn't send us home. Obviously, Western Michigan. It obviously different if you're in that area, and it was like, hey, this is kind of an emergency in this area. But so yeah, we make it through lunch, and obviously that's the talk of the day. And the teacher says, "I want you to remember this day, remember all this, because just remember things like remember what you're wearing, remember these things, so it sticks in your brain." And I took that to heart because I looked down and I saw,
oh no,
my tan jean shorts.
Okay, so you got your best tan jorts on.
And I looked at my shirt.
Yeah.
And it was black.
Okay.
Jersey material, like a mesh.
Yeah.
And it had the flaming skull of Stone Cold Steve Austin on it.
Okay. Nice. Wearing your Sunday best there on that fateful Tuesday.
It's hard to forget what I was wearing on that day. Everybody else, collared shirts and whatever, even their, Blink 182 T-shirts. And I've got the Flaming Skull jersey of Stone Cold Steve Austin, number 3.16 on the back with Austin. The only thing that would have been worse had I worn my Stone Cold Steve Austin T-shirt that had a speaker in it. So if there's 3 buttons on the bottom and one of them would yell, "Oh, hell yeah."
Seriously?
And one would be the glass.
You had that?
Oh, yeah.
How did you wash that? How do you wash a shirt?
Well, at that point, I was 10, Steve. You think I was doing the laundry?
But still, how do you wash a shirt that has electronics built into it?
Ma! Make sure you take the battery pack out of my Stone Cold shirt.
Wait, how old were you? So you were in what?
Well, the Stone Cold Steve Austin jersey, and that was the last time that jersey ever made an appearance. That was 2001, so I was 14.
Oh, boy.
But I bought that jersey, probably, I think it was 1999. I went to a wrestling thing at the local arena in 1999. And so that jersey was 2 years old, and I barely wore it. And for whatever reason, that fateful day, I decided, hey, I've got to bust this thing out today.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, but what do you remember what day it was for you?
Oh, yeah.
Was it a girl turning you down for, the big spring formal because she said, I hate Eric Lindros or Martin Brodeur's the worst?
No, it wasn't. For me, it wasn't specifically. It was kind of all rolled into one. Like, I realized kind of overall, you need to start dressing differently. So it wasn't, but I remember exactly where I was. I was in gym class in probably 6th or 7th grade. Mm-hmm. And I remember for whatever reason, they weren't having us, like it wasn't a regular gym class day.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, just instead of going into the locker room and getting changed, go into the gym and just everybody sit down along one wall. There was like some kind of presentation or something.
Okay.
So we're all sitting there in the gym, back up against like the padded walls that every gym has. Mm-hmm. And I remember looking to my left, looking to my right, and realizing everybody else has jeans on, but this guy had sweatpants on. And
so you were doing that route. Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Now, normally, because I know in your mind you're probably thinking, oh, I was the dirty kid. Because the dirty kid always wore sweatpants.
Oh, yeah. And I wasn't stains on it, maybe holes. Maybe you cut them off in the spring for it to be your summer
now,
jeans.
I'm confident that I wasn't the dirty kid because I wasn't the kid who like had to be pulled aside and be like, hey, do you know what it means to take a shower? or they gave you soap and shampoo and told you should try this.
Yeah,
like I had no problem with that. But I was completely unaware of like, oh, it's time to stop wearing sweatpants to school every day.
You were already living post-divorce Steve life.
Yeah.
Just minus the scooter. Or did you have a scooter?
I didn't have a scooter.
Oh, maybe you had I didn't know if you had maybe a little mini bike that you were riding in your sweatpants on. To really, this would be a very beautiful mirror image of your life.
Yeah.
Just, 18 to 20 years different.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think I know I had a scooter at one point during my youth.
But that wasn't it.
I don't think that I think my scooting days had already passed and had yet to happen again.
So you think at that point it's the sweatpants that were keeping all the chicks away? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
See, because put it
this way, they weren't doing me any favors, the sweatpants.
I think it was the women's fault that they weren't coming around to me in my Stone Cold Steve Austin jersey.
I can't believe you had a shirt with built-in electronics.
Yeah, I'll try to find a picture by the end of this episode so I can show you.
Because I'm picturing that it was just a square speaker that was like hooked in by some kind of belt system, and it just sat like right off to the side.
No, I think it was like 3, electrical nodes that ran from different, and then there was I think there was a battery pack. At some point in the shirt. Yeah, I'm trying to search for it right now. But
so, what would you say? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Speaker.
I just typed in
shirt.
speaker shirt. I don't see anything yet. There is a lot of results, but I remember distinctly there was 3 buttons on the bottom portion that would go kind of right over your stomach. And it would play 3 of his, his catchphrases. Catchphrases.
Built-in speaker shirt. Oh, boy, I don't think we're going to be able to find this.
Well, in hindsight, it'd probably be worth some coin nowadays. That old, awful,
I'm sure it would be worth a lot.
That old, awful wrestling merchandise from like the 90s.
Uh-huh.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You don't think I'd get away with wearing it?
Oh, I think you could. I think it would be a good look.
As soon as I find it, I'm buying one, and I'm wearing it over here.
All right, is it time for us to digress?
Yeah. What was the digression before my memory of me wearing a wrestling jersey on 9/11?
Let's see. Well, we had Words with Friends, or We Old Souls, and then before that, it was your panic attack.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I gotta get caught up first. Kyle's sweet 9/11 attire. Steve's sweatpants. Okay, and go ahead. Sorry, look, obviously the only way we're going to be able to keep up with what we talked about
is by notes.
I mean, yes, this is a recording that we're making, so that's another way. But
well, this was in regards to, we were talking about farming out your daycare to listeners and how it would be with some motorcycle tattooed man. And we said at best you probably have a 50-50 chance of living. Now, this is what you have to look forward to, Steve, because I had a panic attack this morning that really, really, truly rattled me, and I say that sincerely.
Okay.
I'm still a little bit rattled by it. So,
was this just one of those, like, out of nowhere, something you hadn't thought about, and all of a sudden you're like,
no,
how are we going to pay for Reed's college?
Oh, no. No, this is something that happened. This is
something
a fear.
Completely obvious that you should have thought about for years.
This is something that can happen that it's a nightmare. So she was in the shower, and I was feeding him oatmeal this morning, and he has had zero problems with, we started introducing solid foods.
Yep.
That are processed.
6 months?
7 months. This week, Steve.
Yeah.
7 months this week. And so we're starting to introduce that, whether it's, peas and summer squash and all of this thing that, it's all processed and mixed with formula if need be, or breast milk to make it palatable. And he, oatmeal's fine. Never had an issue. There's oatmeal flakes, mix it with milk, boom, down the hatch. So I was feeding him. He's eating it like normally, opens his mouth. He leans in for it. Doing great. Feed him one. And I look, and his mouth's open, so I assume he's hungry, so I pick up some more oatmeal. And I see, but he's like, red.
Uh-oh.
And
okay. So he's
trying to, and I was like, oh my God. And I didn't know what to do at first.
So something's stuck in a pipe somewhere.
And thank God, Steve, it worked with one, like, pat right in the center of the back, and it, he essentially threw up. But I didn't care. I mean, it was everywhere. Oh my! I ripped him out of his seat, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Oh.
Still rattled by it, horrifying.
Right.
You don't even think about it, Steve.
Nope.
You don't even think about it. Something so simple as that, and now, granted, it went very fine for me. I can't imagine the horror.
Yeah.
Of what's my next step? Pat him a few more times. Nothing else. Am I? I'm not trained in that regard. Do I, start digging, trying to, get my finger in there? I mean, it's just mushy oatmeal. So,
so you wouldn't think that it would cause a blockage of any kind.
Oh man, parenting's the worst.
Oh. Okay.
Parenting is the absolute worst, Steve. Have fun with it.
Okay. Well, thank you for that vote of confidence, and boy, am I just fine and dandy. Nothing to worry about here.
So you're going to look at a daycare. This is number 5, right? So number 5 coming up today. Now you got to make a choice soon, and it's because it seems stupid. Yeah, we've talked about this because for whatever reason, the second you find out you're pregnant, you know what? probably the day after you think you may have conceived.
Yeah.
So it's,
calling.
a lot of couples, it's like, day after New Year's, like, oh, man, what if?
Yeah.
We better go get a visit.
Yep.
Things like that. And it's probably that way in every area. It's just, for whatever reason, childcare should be, or has to be, at the top of the list, as stupid as it sounds.
Of course.
So you're at this point, you're 4 months away, 6 months away.
No, 4 months. Well, 4 months
September.
away from
September.
the birth.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
September. And so you're down to the nitty gritty.
We are, because we actually already have a spot reserved at one of the places.
Okay, so you're on the list for the date you would need. So hypothetically, 3 months. You're looking at let's call it
not
around
the date
January,
we need.
February.
No, it's probably going to be, because ideally we'd have it for first of the year. But even the place that we really like, they said it will probably be closer to like February or March. So there's going to be, whether it's adjusted work schedules, and because I know Annette's mom is going to be helping us out a couple of times a week. But yeah, so once we go to this place today, that's when like final decisions are made.
Yep. Today the decision will be made.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a big step, because one
is.
daycare is it's somehow stunningly the predominant expense.
It's unbelievable.
It's
it's insane how much it is.
I've been meaning to say, because you have a decent sized home here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say you open up shop?
So instead of looking for a daycare, starting our own?
Yeah. Well, look at the money.
Yeah, that's
For
true.
crying out loud, you just got to get a license, which I think
get like one kid here one day a week, and my mortgage is paid.
You probably just got to send off one form.
Yeah.
And you're all good to go in terms of legality, right?
I think I can get that degree at like DeVry or something.
Oh, yeah. Just pick one of the online, Northwestern New Hampshire Tech. I don't know what sounds more legitimate. Some of the universities you hear about online, or our throat goblin schools that we created.
They're about, they're pretty even.
Like Windpipe Wartime Military School, to me, sounds like it could be a boarding school for unruly children.
Yeah, for kids who just won't stop acting like jerks.
But like Mid-Village, Colorado State, I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it.
No, not at all. But I'll take that into consideration. I'll see if, if it pays well enough, which we know it does.
Oh, sure.
I'll quit the radio job. Do the podcast once a week. That'll be my outlet.
Oh, yeah. Because you need someone to talk to, outside of, do you need a diaper?
Yeah.
Actual conversation.
It'll obviously be enough to fund the Jeep hobby.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Funding just, the Jeep collection at that point? Because obviously the other one is...
Well, what we would do is the black Jeep would become the company vehicle. We'd stick like a big sticker of like a bottle on the side of it.
Hey, we've got a vinyl guy.
And there we go. And
who listens?
Tax write-off right there.
We've got a vinyl.
All that money I'll save.
Because they've offered to wrap our vehicles if we wanted that.
Did they offer to do that for free?
I don't remember. I feel like that...
I don't think we got to the...
Oh, yeah. No, it's free.
Negotiation phase.
No, it's free.
Yeah.
That's what I had heard. So daycare choice. What's the next big step? Now, Steve, I know you. I'd like to say I know you fairly well. Mm-hmm. What's you probably have a list, maybe a checklist of upcoming steps that you want figured out in the next few months. What's on that list?
Got a checklist on the phone of the things I have to finish up in the nursery, which is probably a half a day's worth of work. Just painting some trim.
Oh, okay.
Little things like that. We're getting... Let's see, there's going to be a window replaced in there like next week. But once that's done, nursery, like construction renovation-wise, it's done. We have to go out and we have to look at furniture because we need to get a crib and
right. Yeah, you said you brought a chair,
changing table. Yeah.
Okay, and again, the colors, you've picked the color. Well, it's already painted.
Mm-hmm.
You found out it's a girl. You're sticking with some neutral colors that you had mentioned.
Yeah.
That period, I'm afraid for you. Because let's say this, your little work that you have for yourself is done by June. Mm-hmm. Looking at a possible shower a few months after that. That gives you about 8 to 9 weeks with nothing to do.
To be terrified.
Because it doesn't makes sense for you guys to go out buying stuff before you see what gifts you'll be getting from
I think that we'll probably
people.
buy... I think we'll get the furniture.
Right, because, you're not going to go put, I'm not
going to put
furniture
like
on
a dresser or
right.
whatever. But yeah, it's weird. It's obviously it's my first time in this situation, but it's weird that because I'm a planner and I like to knock stuff out as quickly as possible, get it like off my plate. If I know long-term projects for me, like work-related projects, things that are going to take a long time, nothing is more like difficult for me to wrap my
because you want it done.
I don't like having a list.
Yeah.
I've talked about it before, how my email account, I treat my email account as if it's a to-do list.
Sure.
If there's anything in my inbox, it means that
it's not done.
Something needs to be done. Like I either have to reply to it or there's some action that needs to be taken. So today, for the first time in like 6 weeks, I completely cleared out both of my email inboxes, work and personal. There's nothing in either of them. By the time we're done recording this, there'll be, 8 or 9 things, but I don't like having stuff like looming over me. So
you're going to have an 8 to 10 week gap. What are the odds that your unborn daughter, as we found out here last week on this very podcast, that you're having a daughter? First to hear it. When are you going to tell the radio show?
I don't know, maybe
when you get to it.
Probably when the baby's born.
Yeah, it's a busy season.
I'll just bring her in.
It's a busy season. They understand, right? They travel and got, lakes to go by with all their radio money that they've stolen from the local crews they're putting out of work.
Lisa and
Johnny the
Duck. So, buying lakes.
Well, you don't want anybody pestering you.
That's
neighbor-wise, so you just buy the entire
whole thing.
Body of water.
Yep.
So that 8 to 10 week, what are the odds that you're going to have, like an ensuite built for your unborn child or something equally? Or hear me out here. You need an outlet and you're going to have, about 2 months. Well, we've had about 2 years of waiting for the groundbreaking.
No.
What do you think APS 4.0 could that be?
I just thought of what I have to do. I have 13 boxes of hardwood flooring that needs to be installed.
Oh, really?
On the second floor.
Oh, you're still going to do that, huh?
I think so. The goal is to have our bedroom painted and new flooring.
How many pennies on the dollar would it take someone to offer you for that hardwood to get it out of your life forever?
So just sell it?
And again, at a loss. But the alternative being you doing the hardwood on your entire upstairs.
No, I can't. I wouldn't do it. I'm actually that's a project I'm looking forward to doing just because that's like the one thing we want to have our bedroom. We want our bedroom to be done and nice because it still feels like we just moved in.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff that's in there, and now stuff that used to be in what is going to be the nursery is just kind of shifted into the bedroom. Right. So it just seems like it's a dumping ground.
Yep.
And I don't know. Whenever I go in there, I don't feel relaxed. I don't feel like it's our bedroom yet.
Sure. Okay.
So that's going to be.
So that's like what, a week
for the flooring?
Yeah.
No, the flooring I'll probably have it done in a weekend.
Okay, so a weekend. So that still leaves 7.5 to 9.5.
But then there's the trim, which I will delay at all costs for any amount of time.
Let's take 2 weeks out of that.
I hate doing trim. Painting, no problem. I can paint.
Painting,
the room painted.
The flooring,
yeah,
not a problem.
Room will be painted in a day because we have to go in, rip out the old carpet, then I'll patch some stuff on the walls, paint the walls. That'll be done in a day. Then I'll start the flooring, knock the flooring out in a day and a half or so, and then the trim.
Let's call it 2 weeks.
Oh boy, if it's like our living room, it was like 2 months.
It was a long time.
It was 2 months.
It was a long time of that trim not at your insistence of staring at it not being done. A lot of cuts had to be made.
I'll do it again too. That might be the one thing I hire out.
The trim, so you'll have the flooring. That's a pretty cheap project to pay out, I would imagine. Well, the cutting and everything. Who knows? But what I'm getting at, leaving yourself, about 4 to 7 weeks there where you got, itchy fingers.
Yeah.
Itchy working fingers.
I'll have my shed by then, so maybe I can.
So you're telling me APS?
Oh, no.
This podcast dying.
I mean, it is, but not solely because of the lack of a studio.
This thing's going to be on the side of the road like deer in mating season. Skunk.
The podcast?
Possum. Just on its back. Showing its stupid, ugly belly. That's our podcast. Just roadkill. Just dead. Give it till... I don't even think we make it to Christmas.
No? At some point,
if we have a Thanksgiving episode, I'll call it an upset.
At some point, we have to record the generic generic episode.
No, I'm not.
You don't think
that.
we're making it till September?
No.
Oh,
I don't want to have one in the tank, but maybe then we could use that for a reboot in 4 years.
When we decide to make a big comeback,
we just dump the pre-recorded episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the summer.
How about those nuts in Washington?
I think making it through the summer's an upset.
Really?
Hell, Memorial Day.
That's 2 weeks away.
All I'm saying is we're skating on thin ice here,
I mean,
Steve.
I'll quit at any time. Like, there's nothing I enjoy more than giving up.
And this is already 100 to 115 episodes longer than any other podcast run I've done.
Yeah, I thought for sure that we'd make it. I thought we'd make it 20 to 30.
So are we doing this? Are we retiring?
Are we quitting?
Let's call it, you know what? Memorial Day. Do you want to pick an end date? Like
let's make it an honest 150.
Like the like
I think
the
we're
Sopranos.
I think we're on 146 maybe. Let me find out.
You know what they say though, Steve, is always leave them wanting more. What do you say about 148?
Oh yeah, that would be good. Or we tell them that it's going to be 150, but then we just do 149.
Yeah, it's like the scene in the Office where Michael's leaving, moving to Colorado, doesn't want to say goodbye to anybody, so he tells everybody he's actually leaving
see you at
a
lunch.
different day.
Yeah, see you at lunch tomorrow.
That's what we're going to do. So at the end of this episode, you'll hear, stay tuned next week for hijinks and fun and, a couple of yahoos yakking it up.
And then you say that, and then I'll say, or will you?
And then we'll hit the mics, I'll grab my headphones, and this will never be spoken of again.
Yep. Yeah, I'll finally get to turn this into the sweet man cave I've been wanting to build it into.
Yeah, wrenches nailed to the wall.
We are on episode 147. So
perfect.
After this one, 3 left.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah. 3. Wink.
All right, let me put that in there. We're finally giving up.
Yep. I think we've made a good run. And by made, I mean not made any dollars. But in terms of longevity.
Yeah. Well, no, we had a little bit of money in the bank.
Yeah.
And we used it.
It's gone.
Oh, no. But if we quit, then we're not going to.
It's fine. Who cares?
We'll still do that. It'll just
for you and I.
Yeah.
Just hang out, have lunch.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
That's what comes first, the APS or the death of this podcast?
Yeah.
So you're going to have the 2-month span, Steve, and then you've got the shower, and then at that point you'll be booked because that's a pretty late shower with a due date in September.
Yeah, I think we're beginning of August, right? I think that's the date.
That is you mentioned something to me about that.
I think that's when it. I think that. I probably have it on my calendar. I'm pretty sure.
That's a quick turnaround for you. Now that's going to drive you insane because you're going to come home with a couple of carloads of stuff and diapers to be heaped on top of heaps of diapers.
I've heard people say that it was 6 months before they had to buy diapers.
We still haven't.
You've never bought diapers?
No.
Really? Wow.
We're on size 2 diapers, and we still have. We will, and by the time he's out of size 2 diapers, we'll be returning some of those.
Okay.
To get different sizes.
You can,
we just don't
pass
need.
them along to your old buddy Steve.
God, no. What, my former co-host?
Yeah.
At that point, Lord, I haven't seen you in months. You know, if they ever do a radio show reunion,
you gonna show up for it?
Nah. Send my regards. Because then, September's right around the corner.
Yeah.
And
oh man, once we hit August, I am going to be losing my mind.
It's tough because, like I said, especially like you and me, we're very similar in this regard. You're going to come home.
I don't want to be compared to you.
You'll agree with me in a second because this shower is going to be. You probably won't be at the shower.
No, I'll be there to. I'll be there at the end to scoop up the bounty.
Yep.
Wave to the hens and
yep.
Watch them as they cluck on out of there.
I help set up and I help take down and bring everything home. And yeah, it's massive because there's clothes, there's diapers, there's other gifts. So there's stuff that has to be put together. There's diapers, which you have to find a place to put them and store them. Yeah. Now you have storage, but again, you're like me. You're not just going to throw them in the corner of a room and forget about them. No, you'll end up building shelving that only fits diapers.
Right.
So they'll be useless in
diaper-specific shelf.
Yeah, and then you'll also have clothes, and you'll think, oh, that's fine. Rip the tags off and put them in the drawer. No, they all have to be washed before they can be worn.
What?
So you'll end up doing like 10 loads of baby laundry. Oh, but Steve, you can't do that with your regular stuff. You need baby detergent.
Baby detergent.
I forget what it's called.
Probably baby detergent.
I don't know. Have it at the house. It's a special kind. Have to use that stuff, and then you have to fold it. It's a lot, and then mix in, like you said, with you getting the furniture, and you'll only have about 4 weeks, and by that point, it'll all be, oh, I can't help, I'm pregnant. So I think we should take a picture.
Didn't stop me from having her pick up sticks in the yard yesterday.
Hey, get out there and pick up the brush.
I swear, man, that little dog Toby, he's our little pup. He loves sticks. He's a stick dog. So I was outside yesterday. I finally decided, all right, I got to clean up the backyard a little bit because there's just a couple branches and just leaves everywhere still, like stuffed in all the little crevices around the deck. So I started cleaning it up yesterday. I came up on the deck with the leaf blower to blow everything off. There must have been 200 sticks sitting on the deck because every time he goes out, he brings one back. And he's good. He doesn't bring them in the house, but he'll drop it right there. So it was like a forest on our deck yesterday.
So, Sunday afternoon, you had a big week, with your travel and then having to click play on Friday.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Spacebar.
And Friday night.
Yeah.
So Sunday comes around and you see the mini campfire that Toby's built for you on your deck. And you decide, hey, toots, get that belly shaking out on the deck. And have her pick up the sticks.
Yeah.
Because you were busy, I'm assuming.
Well, I was doing the rest of the yard work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was putting up, once again, ran into a what the hell were the previous homeowners thinking scenario.
Oh, good.
You know how, like, around the deck, you'll put up that lattice?
Sure.
To keep animals from running under the deck or keep, like, leaves and everything from blowing under there. Traditionally, that's nailed in place.
Sure.
Ours wasn't. It was, there were nails, but the nails weren't put all the way in, and then the lattice was just hung on top of it.
Uh-huh.
So the dogs could just push it to the side.
Oh, it's like a wreath.
Yeah.
But of lumber.
Yeah, so I had to. And then there was one spot where there was a piece of lattice just laying up against it, but then in back of the lattice they had, like, gotten chicken wire and put that up. Like, you bought the lattice,
but in lieu of actually nailing that in where it goes, you decided to, string chicken wire up instead. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it did have to be cut, which, I mean, that did take a long time. That took me upwards of 1 minute to take out a saw and go zoop.
Yep.
And then nail it up.
So you remedied the problem?
Remedied that. Yeah. There was also the old shed. The floor was the guy who came and took my shed apart didn't take it with him, so I had to deconstruct that.
Did you give that away?
I tried to post it on Craigslist. Surprisingly, nobody wants 2 8x4 sheets of rotten plywood.
Okay, so now we're back to what we talked about last week.
I know, and I considered doing that like this morning. I had enough time.
This morning before work.
Before work. So I leave for work at about 3.
Because you work today.
Yeah, because I have a job. I'm not some chump.
Sucker.
So I had enough time this morning. I was like, oh, I could run those things over. But then I remembered, they're like, oh, got an email. They are, it's 2 pieces of 8-foot by 4-foot plywood. They're 3/4 of an inch thick. So they're already, it's a pretty hefty piece of wood.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've been sitting on the ground for like the last, I don't know, however many years, they're the heaviest thing I've ever felt in my life. So what I'm saying is, tomorrow morning,
you're going to ask Annette.
How about you meet me here?
Okay.
Meet me here at about 4.
Okay.
We'll pick those things up, run them across the street, boom, throw them in the dumpster, and then hit the bricks.
So you'll have the GoPro hooked up, and you and I are going to jog over twice. So 2 round trips?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's a way that doesn't look as devious. Now you lived here long enough. You're thinking 4 in the morning. There'll be no lights on. No. There won't be any foot traffic to be seen.
Nothing. I never see anybody.
Have you checked the level of the dumpster? Because we talked about the fear.
I haven't.
Of this being, we run over there, lob it over our heads, and it's empty, and the world's biggest clang is heard not only in your cul-de-sac but in the entire subdivision here.
Yeah, no, I haven't checked it, but I'll put in the work.
So you're on board with this in lieu of, Steve McNeighbor over here. In lieu of just asking one of your newfound friends.
Yeah. You're
still on board with the mid-morning or early morning, midnight dumpster theft where you just lob wood in.
Well, I would say dumpster donation. Because I'm not stealing a dumpster.
Yeah, I mean, you're stealing space, but that's besides the point. And when you put it that way, Steve, how could the police argue with you?
I mean, come on.
I'm in.
You'll be here.
If you want
4 a.m.
If you want to do this, I'm going back home and going to bed.
I do.
I need you.
I'll even buy you a coffee and a donut.
If it goes awry, and police are on the scene.
Oh, yeah, you're taking all the blame.
I expect you to absolve me 100%, and I don't care what you say. If I'm a house guest, if you caught me, sneaking around your backyard, I don't care. I need to be absolved 100% of any wrongdoing in regards to, quote, dumpster donation.
All right.
Because I think you need to, at that point, you come up with some really weird, just a tale about, every year one of us neighbors gets a dumpster and it's a cul-de-sac dumpster.
Yeah.
And they keep it for a couple weeks and then it's out of here.
I like that idea. I'm sure.
No, you don't want to bother them, officer. It's 4 a.m. I mean, you don't bug them.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk with you.
So you're on board.
Oh, I mean,
4 a.m.
How could I miss it? Waking up my son, my dog's barking as I leave to go help my soon-to-be former co-host throw wood in a dumpster. That's not his own.
Yeah.
Because what's the alternative now? Nobody wants it for free because it's garbage wood.
Hope that it dries out and I can burn it.
Man.
No, I'll just end up cutting it up into probably 3 or 4 pieces.
You have to cut it on the ground because obviously you can't really lift it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's got a ton of sharp nails sticking out of it. So I think that's the only thing. I'm just going to have to cut it into 3 or 4 strips and then stuff it in the garbage over the next 2 weeks.
Smaller strips. You just do 2 dumpster donations a day.
Here's what I'm thinking, though. I did find an old bird bath in the backyard. Well, it's just the base of...
Okay.
It's just the base of a bird bath.
Sure, so not even the good part.
But it's the kind of thing that if I post that on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, I'll get 1 million people who want it.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm thinking that I say to them, free bird bath, but you have to take the plywood.
You need to try it. That needs to be posted in 5 minutes so we can have updates because...
I already have a picture of it.
Because that's kind of a deal. And hey... You want this crappy cement
look at
pillar.
that. Look at that bird bath. That's nice,
that
right?
is so dumb. It's
concrete.
It's
made
a
of,
cylinder of concrete for you. And if you want this cylinder of concrete, you have to take waterlogged plywood from the dirt.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm going to post this. In fact, you're going to help me write this ad.
Hey, dummies.
I don't know if I should.
No.
I feel like
hey, you said, help me write the ad.
I feel like we're starting off on the wrong foot.
Hey, dum-dums.
Hold on.
Free cone of concrete for you bunch of losers.
Create a posting. Hold on to all those thoughts.
Okay, good. Yeah. Can't wait to see this come to life.
Log in. Okay. For sale by owner.
Mm-hmm.
Category is free stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
posting title. I think free bird bath base.
Free bird bath base. Because we can't put a plus sign.
We can't insult them yet.
Put a plus sign next to it so they know.
Oh, they know. Like,
this is in month 2 of you trying to sell your disaster Jeep, you were thinking that might help as well. You're like, hey, I got this additional garbage that nobody really wants.
I put 3 pluses.
So now people know the deal is there.
Yep. Okay. Posting body.
All right. So, I'll just rattle off some ideas. You take from that what you will, okay? And I'll let you craft it. I have a journalism degree, but you're the wordsmith here, Steve. So I'll spout ideas.
Okay.
You polish them up into a nice posting for us, okay? Hey, dum-dums.
Hey, dum-dums.
Free cone of concrete for you morons to throw in your yards of garbage. Must pick up. And in order to qualify, must also take new floor for your trailer.
No, I think we may have to, like, you're at about a 10. We need to tone it down to maybe a 7.
Listen, I said I'll talk you polish. How much more clear can I be about this?
Okay. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna take out hey dum-dums. Free concrete base.
I guess salutations aren't allowed anymore.
Free.
Oh, sorry. Free concrete bird. I did say concrete cone, so I guess you can.
Concrete bird bath base.
For you morons.
No, for you.
For you to
throw
decorate
in your yard.
With all your other garbage. I believe I said garbage yards.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so that's in there.
I'm going to say put in your yard.
Yeah, that's nice.
You just need to add the actual part that makes it a bird bath.
You bunch of hobos should have no problem with...
Nope.
Carve out the inside of one of the tires located nearby.
Grab a salad bowl from the kitchen. Stick it on top. Oh, wait. You don't eat salad.
Caulk the holes in one of your 84 rims.
Oh, boy. That one really got me. Must pick up. Okay. But in order to qualify for such riches, you must also
acquire the new floor to your...
I don't know, though. They might not know what that word means.
Good point. You must also...
Yeah, I'm going to go with it.
You must also...
They'll have a thesaurus.
G-I-T.
You must also acquire the 2 pieces of... waterlogged, rotted.
Whoa. Hey. I think I'm kind of seeing why the Jeep's not sold. Listen, you appeal to your consumers, Steve. So let's rethink what you're saying here. To acquire, you must also...
Scratch my back. I'll scratch.
Oh, God. Well, now we got a Robert Kraft situation. People are thinking you're asking for favors by scratching backs and...
Now I'll say, Know what I mean?
You know what?
All right.
That really helps.
All right, so here, I'm going to read this to you.
Okay, so this is in full. I can't wait to see what you took from my essence
Sure, yeah, there are
to
some
your computer.
Some of the words. Free concrete bird bath base +++.
Yeah. Yeah.
Free concrete bird bath base for you to put in your yard.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You just need to add the actual part that makes it a bird bath.
Yep. Okay, so this is where you describe buying, using one of their rims or...
Must pick up, but in order to qualify for such riches, you must also acquire the 2 big pieces of waterlogged, rotten plywood in the picture.
Oh, my God. Okay, again... Are we going to have to do competing Craigslist ads?
Hold on. I'll add something about... maybe you have a bird bath top piece.
Maybe this will help you fat asses get in shape.
But if not, a big salad bowl or an old truck rim would do the trick.
Go back to salad bowl next to it, put a parentheses and put LOL. Because we all know.
No, maybe I'll put, let's be honest, ice cream. Okay.
All right, yeah.
But if not, a big salad, let's be honest, ice cream bowl, or an old truck rim would do the trick. Must pick up. But in order to qualify for such riches, you must also acquire the 2 pieces of waterlogged, rotten plywood in the picture.
Delete those adjectives.
Okay.
2 pieces of plywood to repair your slums. Or
2 pieces of plywood in the picture.
to possibly build your own coffin with.
Heavy, wet plywood in the picture. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Know what I mean?
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Publish that, and
Wait,
I think
no,
by
I gotta-
next week.
I have to create some urgency. Hurry,
Hurry, we don't know when it'll rain again.
because it'll go fast.
Yeah, you lie to him.
Yeah. Okay. I think that we're almost ready.
So now, we've kind of shot.
Now I'm going to put the one of the podcast phone numbers on here.
We kind of shot our own plan in our foot, Steve. As
Wait,
we were.
contact name Sayum, Sayum.
Yep.
Okay, I think we're just about ready. Continue. Hold on. No, I'm not going to put my address on there. Added the image, so that way people really get a good look at the riches I'm giving away.
You just need to pull up a picture of plywood from Home Depot.
We're live, man.
So by this time next week, one of 2 things will have happened. Some loser and a Buick Centennial.
I don't think that's a car.
Lincoln
I think you're thinking of
Town car.
Buick Century.
Century. There isn't. I think is it a Buick
You're combining
Centennial?
a Continental and a Century.
Wow. I guess that's what I get. Need to catch up on my truck wrenching shows.
Mm-hmm.
By this time next week, it'll either be in the arms of some loser driving a Buick with no room for this and just 2 pieces of waterlogged plywood bungeed to their roofs.
Yeah.
Or it will be inconspicuously dumped in Steve's neighbor's dumpster.
I'm really hoping for 2.
You don't want number 1 to happen?
Well, yeah, it would be nice because I wouldn't have to do anything. They would just take
Right.
it. But I like the idea of the thrill. The thrill of the heist.
This is a heel turn for you. After the months of you bothering everybody around you with talk about.
I haven't seen any of the neighbors.
Friends.
I haven't seen them in a
because you've
while.
scared them inside, Steve. For God's sake, leave them alone.
You know something? I take that back. I had a nice conversation with Cindy the other day.
Well, she's single and lonely and old.
She's not single or lonely or old.
Sounds like a widow.
No. Nope. She is a lovely woman.
So you caught her outside as 1 foot inside the garage.
She said hello to me first.
Frantically pressing the garage door button as Steve, stretches on his porch, looks left, looks right, looks left again. She's trying to close everything around her. It's like the Purge when they do the horns
like
for the purge.
No.
She presses the button to go into purge security where everything's walled off. That's the way the cul-de-sac's been treating Steve the last few months, who just wants nothing more than to chit-chat and bother everybody around him.
Nope.
You know what you could do? If you're going to bother everybody around you, maybe bother them for lawn tips.
Hey, did you take a look at the lawn today?
I did. I'll post an update. I think I've said this before, but I will post an update today.
Okay.
I don't think anybody will be surprised.
You honestly don't think it looks any different? Here's what I need to do.
It looks different from the last time. Now, if I would have to pull up, because I posted some of these pictures, Steve.
From last year?
From last year.
Oh, man. If you post the ones from last year, Here, I'll pull up a picture, because we have the fancy app that controls our sprinklers.
Right.
And you take a picture for each zone.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one. Hold on. I haven't gone into this app in quite some time. Yeah. This is how it was last year. I think this has to be at its worst.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's no green to be found there.
No.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean...
Oh, boy, look at that. That's bad. That's real bad.
I wish there was a quick way to scroll through our own Twitter post that I wouldn't have to scroll for a half an hour, because I know I posted some updates probably last July, maybe August.
Oh, if you go into Twitter, go into the advanced search, you can do a date.
Oh, boy, yeah, I don't know how to do that. Appreciate you saying it, though.
Yeah. No problem.
Type in the advanced search. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe bother them with that.
Mm-hmm.
How's the kids?
So all of a sudden, I'm going to start talking like Krusty the Clown.
Hey, I don't know how you talk to your neighbors. You're a totally different person. All you want to do is bother everybody around you.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Looking back, have you ever removed your shirt to vomit?
That was, I can tell you exactly when that was. That was late August.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a little more time to go. Right now, you're just looking in the media?
No, I'm actually going through our tweets, but media would have made more sense.
Yeah, probably would have taken like about a minute.
August 5th. Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
So I'll take that.
Oh, geez, that's so bad. Now,
this was 3 months into you trying, by the way.
Well, this was also, but because I think we really killed it like around July. July was the hot month last summer.
The drought, but that was the month where it didn't rain for a while. It was very hot.
Man, I mean, you got to admit, now it looks a lot better.
Certainly, Steve. You've had a winter's worth of precipitation.
But still, the ground is still just sucking it in like a sponge. Our sprinklers are working again. The guy came out to turn the sprinklers on the other day, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, one of your lines burst." So he turned the water back on, and there's just a jet shooting out the side of the house. Like, oh, that's cool, neat, yeah. Oh, $150. All right, sounds good. Yep, patch it up, neat.
Oh, man. Well, oh boy, I hate to cut it short. I did want to talk about it. Took a little vacation there this weekend with the baby, but we do not have time. That is something we will have to get to. I promise you, we will discuss. I have a few items I want to discuss, mostly about the misery of traveling. And no, granted, the trip was fine, so I don't want to say that. But traveling with a baby, and I'm not the only one who's ever done it.
Right.
I'm not saying that, is a true experience, Steve. A truly awful experience.
I look forward to hearing about it next week. Let's jump into the Fast Four.
Fast Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, I think you're up.
Aladdin.
Oh, that's with
Will Smith's the
yeah.
genie. He's really the only name actor in it.
Yeah.
Everybody else was kind of.
Is it out yet?
No, Memorial Day weekend. Is this something you're interested in?
Aladdin, no, not in the least.
Because obviously, we're similar time frame, but our ages, we're different by a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how Aladdin stuck with you as a child. If that was a Disney movie of your time.
Yeah, it's weird though because I always just assume that we're about the same age.
Yeah,
but then
because I'm an old soul.
Because you're an old soul, but then listening back to you talking about on 9/11 how you were wearing your Stone Cold t-shirt and your tan jorts, it made me realize, oh, okay, yeah, we're not the same age because I was in college then.
That's only 4 years different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get it. Next, Kawhi Leonard. Tell me you saw this video clip.
I did. I've seen that like 100 times.
Could you watch it 100 more or a million more? You know what? We'll get to that.
On the turnaround.
Britney Spears. Have you been following this at all?
I know that she checked into some kind of rehab or something, and that there's like a group of fans that think that she's being held against her will.
Yeah, an interesting update here in the last day or so. We'll get to that on the turnaround. The royal baby. You mentioned it last week. I didn't realize it was something happening. It happened.
Is that like Mortimer something?
Oh God, what was it? Did they name it?
No,
Mortimer?
No, the kid's name is it's Archie something. Right. But then there's Martle Bomb. I don't know. There's some weird name in there.
Oof.
It's atrocious. But since it's a royal baby, everyone's like, oh, it's adorable.
You worried about that at all? You worried about not backlash, but people looking at when you announce the name of your child?
No, I don't care. I do not care. That's exactly why we're not going to tell anyone because
that's what we did.
Because anybody can insult the name of a future baby.
Sure,
but nobody. I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to insult a baby's name.
Yeah, and it's not like you're in the hospital and your relatives and immediate family are there and come out and then so and so was born this, and someone goes, really that name?
I thought you could have done better.
So yeah, born this past week, baby Archie.
Although I do
a million times down the royal line, right? Because there's almost 0% chance Harry and his line.
I think he's seventh in line for the throne. Yeah.
I didn't think there was any chance that essentially Harry's line of succession.
Oh, it would. Yeah. Well, basically,
there goes Charles, William,
then because William is the first born male,
and then his two children, right?
His two children are ahead of Harry because Harry's fourth. Harry's fifth, no, sixth.
But then so Kate has no pull.
No, none whatsoever.
She was not blood.
She was a commoner.
Married in.
Yeah.
So because she's not a relative or descendant.
No.
Okay. So then after his two children,
man,
it would go,
you know something? I could be completely wrong.
We've done this before on this exact same topic. Nikki, find out the exact we had the same stupid discussion.
Our royal timeline or our royal throne confusion.
You know what? You can narrow it down because I can guarantee it was during the Fast Five, the last time a royal baby was born.
Okay, so that there you go.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
And lastly, Steve, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, they hired a coach, right?
Yeah, they finally got a coach not before massive issues. The coach they wanted was the coach that won a title with LeBron 3 years ago, but that's the same coach who had to stop coaching halfway through the season for a while because essentially coaching LeBron was killing him, and he needed his doctor's orders where you need to step away from the game. So he wanted a 5-year contract. They only offered him 3, didn't do it. This is after one of their other head coaching candidates said no thank you, went to the Phoenix Suns.
Isn't that crazy?
This is the most prestigious basketball team in the land, and people are looking at that and going, ooh.
Yeah, no thanks.
I think the perception on LeBron James is changing quite a bit. This is a guy who controls what he wants to control. And
why doesn't he just be like a player coach?
Right? A lot of the thinking was that...
Nobody still does that anymore,
No, but a lot of the thinking was that part of this contract, wherever he signed this time, part of the deal is going to be an ownership stake in the team. It didn't end up happening, but that's kind of the thinking around him. Now, he went to Miami and blew that up. He went to Cleveland, got a couple of coaches fired, and blew up that team because of relationship issues, but... He's one of the best players, but boy, oh boy, it seems like he's difficult to play with.
A bit, yeah.
Before that, the royal baby. I didn't know this was a thing. Did you know it's a thing that you're supposed to make, they expect you to make a public appearance, the day of?
Yeah, I know that it's, I know that it's a pretty common thing. Like, it's a huge deal to see the first picture, the first appearance of the
But the day
baby.
of.
That's insane.
Because and you'll see this in a few months, Steve. I couldn't imagine my wife doing that within honestly 4 days. It's just everything you're going through is insane. And so there was a mini uproar among some elitists over in England because she waited 2 days. Because she just gave birth and absolutely ravaged her own body for the birth of this child. So
Meghan Markle, she's really shaking up the royal family, isn't she?
Man, I mean, well, first of all, for crying out loud, she's not white.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was a
big
thing.
Big problem for all those old white people.
You imagine. Do they still wear wigs?
Not sure.
Because I think they still wear those fake old-timey wigs when they're in court and, yelling at each other.
Like the powdered wigs?
Yes, I think they might.
And they're all lords, right?
Oh, yeah. Lords and dukes and earls and...
And they're one that begins with a B, too, isn't it? Like barrister? Bannister?
Ooh.
No, Bannister is on the stairs.
Maybe Spindle?
Lord Barrister Spindle. That's a name. That's... Ooh. My firstborn son
handles Lumberville.
Lord Barrister Spindle.
Before that, Britney Spears. So yeah, you mentioned it. Spent some time in a mental health facility. She's had issues in years past, and obviously was.
Yeah.
So her father was head of the conservatorship.
What's that mean?
He essentially runs her money and things because she was deemed that she couldn't do that.
Man.
So she spent some time in a mental health.
I thought she had bounced back.
I think she'd been doing fine for years up until this, where she had spent some time in a facility, and so her fans started the Free Britney movement, thinking that she was being forced there, and that was kind of shut down until yesterday.
People so stupid?
Until yesterday, when she joined the Free Britney movement.
What?
She is now trying to get out from her conservatorship. She's trying to get out from being owned and claiming that her father forced her into this mental health facility, but the mental health facility is saying, nope, nobody can be forced into here. This is a sign in, sign out, come and go as you please situation.
So she can leave.
Oh, she's home from this
left.
now,
okay.
But she was seen out and about during her stay there, and it's a facility that you can't be checked into forcefully. You can't drag someone there in a straitjacket and say,
"Take them,
they're crazy, fix them."
Yeah.
No, she signed in willingly. She stayed there willingly. Was seen out and about. So it's this is brewing to be a pretty what looks to be a pretty bad public situation for her again, but different now. I mean, when this happened in the 90s or early 2000s. I mean, it was shocking, but now she has grown children.
Yeah. Yeah, her kids are probably...
Teenagers.
Are they really?
I think they're teenagers. Like, this situation with their mom and their grandfather is going to play out in the media. What an uncomfortable, awful. Before that, Kawhi Leonard, even if you're not a sports fan, you said you saw it.
Yeah, it was.
What an amazing shot to see to seal the first ever buzzer-beating Game 7 NBA victory.
They said that'll be one of the greatest plays in sports history.
It was incredible. 4 bounces off the rim.
Yeah, 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and then bloop,
one of the most. I think what will go down as one of the most iconic images in all of sports was released of. One of the 76ers kind of leaning into the camera shot to look at the ball as it's bouncing while Kawhi Leonard is essentially sitting
he's
down
like kneeling on the floor.
And kind of grimacing, looking at the basket to see if it's going to go in. A couple teammates looking in, hunker down. Absolutely amazing photograph captured.
Man.
What a moment. Toronto, too. I mean, this team who really has been irrelevant and had this stigma that they can't get past, the big rounds, to pull that out. That's really cool to see. I always love those moments, even if I'm not a fan. One of my favorite videos, like those compilation videos of like when the U.S. scored a World Cup goal in 2012, and the video from bars around the world or bars around the United States.
All the reactions.
I love it. So seeing that and hearing the calls, the radio calls and the TV calls, and hearing the crowd for a Toronto fan base that, I mean, they have hockey, but this is incredible for them. That was really
Just
cool to see.
Heartbreaking though, if you're the Sixers or you're a Sixers fan.
But the Sixers had kind of been the villains a little bit now outside of Philly, just because Embiid's kind of a polarizing character, and that they tanked. That was the first team to popularize tanking. Lose for a while to get a lot of high picks, see how many pan out.
Yep.
So I think it'd be great to see them make it. Man, the two teams out of the Eastern Conference that made it, the Milwaukee Bucks, have probably the nicest man in all of sports, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the Greek Freak, and now Toronto, who is just a likable team. So that's really cool to see who gets to lose to the Golden State Warriors. And before that, lastly, Steve, Aladdin comes out in 2 weeks. The only reason I put it on was curious because it's
no interest.
But the Lion King, where do you sit on the Lion King?
I guess I'd be more interested in the Lion King.
Those both come out this summer.
But even that, there's no chance I'll go see it.
Either.
No. But if I'm sitting at home, nothing to do, those are the two things on that I can watch. Lion King.
Sure.
Lion King all day over.
Now, my wife's looking forward to Aladdin. Me, not so. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm curious. It's easier to do with Aladdin in terms of the music.
Yeah.
And the updated songs for Aladdin with live humans. I don't know. I've seen all the teasers and everything for the Lion King. That's going to feel a little bit odd with the music jammed in there, especially with the voices of some of Seth Rogen and things like that. So I'll be curious to see, because the one they've done so far, The Jungle Book, was outstanding. Loved The Jungle Book.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no interest.
Comes out in 2 weeks. Yeah, people not so hot on the idea of Will Smith as the genie. Some pushback there, but yeah, comes out in 2 weeks.
Is that it? Is that
That's
your last
it.
one? All right.
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. First up on my list, the NBA playoffs.
If my team's not in it, I don't care. The second round, a lot better than the first.
Next, Felicity Huffman. Has she done
anything extra?
Yeah, today it was rumored that she was going to plead guilty.
Oh yeah.
To the charges and turn herself in or whatever.
Yeah, she released a statement a couple of weeks ago saying she was going to plead guilty. Now the thinking,
but I think today was the official day.
Okay,
yeah,
because the thinking still seems to be with her and with most that they will spend 0 seconds behind bars.
Now I was watching something from. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about that on the turnaround. Alex Trebek. We may have mentioned him in a.
We've mentioned him a few times. Yeah. Listen, the guy's an absolute legend. I kind of feel sad watching him do this, because I've said it before. I don't think he needs the money. He's a man in his 70s who's been doing this forever on one of the most syndicated shows ever. So part of me thinks, man, just step back and enjoy time with your family and loved ones. I know you like Jeopardy and you love working, but there's more important things than James the sports bettor and his streak here. So yeah.
Well, luckily they're in their off season now,
Yep.
So he doesn't have to go back to filming until September or something.
Yeah, there are still episodes to be aired.
Yeah,
there are, but you're right, they are all filmed up. So yeah, and the intrigue's higher than ever for Jeopardy. So maybe that's part of the reason why he's sticking around.
And finally, Game of Thrones.
Oh man, the big one. I was talking to a friend last night about this because I don't watch. You don't watch.
I'm also not one of the people that, because there are different factions. There's Game of Thrones fans, then there's super fans.
Oh yeah,
who that's all they want to talk about. Then there's people who don't watch and make sure to tell people that they don't watch.
See, I feel like it's two camps. It's the people who watch, and when they say, "Oh, did you see that last night?" and you say no, it's, "Oh, what are you doing? You've got to watch it." This, that, and the other. And you're right. The other group, in my estimation, to a slightly lesser degree, the group saying, "Yeah, I don't watch, I don't like it, not interested, whatever," unprompted, right?
Yeah, I'm just indifferent. I'm like, the genre doesn't really appeal to me. The whole medieval wizardry dragon stuff. No, I'm just not into it. I'm sure it's obviously a great show, but it just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, and people are more confused when they bring it up to me or when it's brought up when I say, well, yeah, I watched for 3 years and then stopped. Well, how did you stop? Why? You know, I'm done talking about it and arguing about it. I don't care.
Right.
But boy,
different people have different interests.
Online backlash to this season, bad.
Yeah, not good.
People are not happy with the creators and the writers. Weiss
I hate
and
when
Benioff
people say like, "Oh, writers got lazy." Like,
yeah,
it's not. They didn't get lazy,
right?
I mean, granted, I haven't watched it, but you've heard that about other shows before. Like,
oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, they just got lazy. Like, yeah, they decided they came into work that day and said like, "Well, what do you guys think? You wanna just like go bowling instead, and like, we'll throw something together. We'll figure it out."
I think part of the problem is now, because the way people seem to line it up is they say, well, the first 5 years lined up or were with the books. Mm-hmm. And these last few years have been with no books, and that's been the drop-off. Okay. So once you essentially don't have the source material to at least base some of your things off. Now, they veered some ways that weren't in the books, but that's to be expected. But with no source material, it seems like there's just been this decline in not a decline in ratings, not a decline in money it's bringing in, for crying out loud, but a decline in the hardcore fans look at that and say, why am I still watching this? Only one episode left though, Steve. One episode.
Oh boy.
And that'll be out of our lives forever.
Maybe I'll watch the last episode.
You gonna watch the finale on Sunday?
Yeah.
We should watch the finale on Sunday.
We should have a watch party.
We should. Well, it wouldn't work for you. It's on till like 11 o'clock.
That's all right. I'd stay up for that. We could stream it, and then we could just the whole time just be like, wait, who is that?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, we should.
Is that Tommy?
We should live stream our...
Probably aren't a lot of Tommies in Game of Thrones, huh?
Yeah. I mean, we got to name them. We don't know their names.
That's true.
What's the alternative, So-and-so Blockvillian? It's like, oh, he speaks this language. Okay. Who cares?
Okay, before that, we had Alex Trebek. I like you. I hope he takes some time, takes care of himself, gets better.
I don't know if there's a succession plan. I'm sure there is. I don't think it's going to be wait for Alex to either step down or whatever other means and them go, well, we got to start the search.
Yep.
You're putting yourself at risk of...
I would bet that with a guy in his 70s, there... like what you saw when that whole debacle went down like 10 years ago when Jay Leno was going to retire.
Oh God!
And they announced Conan was going to be his replacement like 4 years in advance or something. So they know they've been working on it. That there's at least been rumblings around the Jeopardy offices like, hey, what are we going to do?
Yeah, they have to have something in place, or at least a search in place for whenever he is ready to step back.
And before that, Felicity Huffman.
Yeah, sounds like I did just Google it. She's in court right now. Very instant, pleading guilty, Steve. I don't know if they sentence right now, but maybe,
I don't think they do. I think normally she enters a plea, and because I was watching the news earlier, and they said it would probably be a couple of months before she was sentenced. Still faces a lot of time in prison, but let's be honest, she's rich and she's white. So she'll get a
fine,
200 hours of community service, and then you have to go and talk about what you've done and tell people why it's so wrong.
And then probation, unless you're working.
Yeah,
and you work,
then you can do whatever you want. So basically, just make sure you have a job, and your life will not change at all. And first was the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, it's
so now it's the Raptors and the
Bucks and the Warriors and the Portland Trailblazers. Nobody really knows who's going to come out of the East. That's two really good teams. It seems like the Warriors will be waiting for whoever comes out. Pretty bad first round. The NBA is so top heavy; it makes it unwatchable at times. The top four teams on either side are so much better than everybody else. Then I think this was one of the first years the first four seeds in both divisions advanced, and then but now Portland's not the number 2 seed, but yeah, the first four seeds. So it's 1 versus 4. The NBA's, for me, it's broken. Who knows if they can fix it, but it is what it is with super teams and just shooting as many 3-pointers as you can. Steve,
basketball does not interest me in the least.
NCAA tournament drinkathon coming back next year. You in?
Yeah, you did. You took the year off this year.
Who knows? I'm too old.
I don't know. I'm gonna have a kid.
Me too.
Maybe All right, so we bring the kids out, obviously.
No question.
Time for them to have a couple pops.
Yeah, well, the bars usually have like swing doors that they can lock.
Sure, yeah.
Just put them behind there.
I like it. I like that idea a lot. Hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for lots of social media activity over the last week or so with your pictures from the Windy City. We'll talk about that next week.
We didn't even get to your next live show. You don't have one this week, so we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, not for a couple weeks. You can download, subscribe, and review the show in iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, Spotify. Call or text your questions, comments, or concerns. 424-30-SK-POD. That's 424-307-5763. On Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram at Steve and Kyle. Couldn't be easier to find us.
Yeah, please do. Love the interactions. Hopefully some new merch really soon.
Yeah. Talk to you next week.